grains I'd like to talk about are all related to the wheat family. We have our red wheat and our white wheat, or our summer wheat. Now, when you see a whole white wheat, basically what you're seeing is one of the many varieties of wheat that's lighter in color. Your harder red wheat, more of a winter wheat, is darker in color and typically what we associate with the brown color of wheat. Over here we also have some rye. You can cook these all in a rice cooker, but I find that they're much better for grinding. And this next recipe I'm going to show you, orange, wheat, and flax muffins. This recipe happens to be my husband's favorite recipe. So I'm going to show you how easy it is just to grind up these flours for this easy recipe. Using the smaller bowl of your magic bullet, you're just going to do about 1 cup at a time. And I'll start with the white wheat. And using the larger blades, most of them come with 2 sides blades, so I'm using the larger one. Alrighty. Okay, so we grind that flour up. It's a coarse grind. Spend a little bit more time, it'll be finer. Here's some of the wheat and the harder wheat. So I have about a total of 3 cups of flour in here. I'm also going to add about a cup of oat bran and a cup of ground up seeds. I have here some chai seeds and some flax seeds that I ground up the same way using my magic bullet. Chai seeds, like flax seeds or hemp seeds, are very nutritional, and because of their type of fatty acids and also because of the fiber and also because of the vitamin E, a lot of people like to include them in their diet. So we have a little bit of mixture of the different ground up seeds. Now, using a blender, I'm going to add 2 organic oranges. Notice I have peels the entire thing I'm adding, because the peeling also has some flavor to it. So you don't even have to peel the oranges for this recipe. I'm going to add a couple of eggs, and if you wanted to use an egg substitute, fine. The most important thing, I think, is to use cruelty-free. We have some great applesauce that one of our neighbors made for us, and so I'm going to add about a ½ a cup of the applesauce. Next, I'm going to add, here again, about a cup of coconut milk, and you could use any kind of milk. I just happen to like coconut milk. And about a tablespoon of vinegar to give it some acid. Now, if you wanted, you could probably use baking soda, but we're going to use the vinegar. And also about a cup of brown sugar. You could use honey if you wanted to, but my son's a vegan at certain times, and so he doesn't like to use honey. All right, and the last thing I'm going to add, instead of using butter, because a lot of people are allergic to butter, here I'm going to be adding coconut oil. Coconut oil is a great oil to cook with because it does have some of the saturated fatty acids that you're looking for with butter, but it doesn't have the high allergen properties. And I'm just going to blend that up. I have the different ground up flours, and I have the ground up seeds in the mixing bowl. I'm also going to add some walnuts. Walnuts are another one of our great California nuts that we have, and also some dried cranberries, and about a handful. And here again, you could use raisins, even figs are kind of nice in this recipe. And I like to mix those all up nicely before adding my my baking powder, about a tablespoon of baking powder for this much flour, and about a ½ a teaspoon of salt I'm going to also dump in here. Nice and mixed. And my orange mixture I'll pour right into there. And want to mix this the least amount, just enough to get all the dried ingredients moistened up. And this recipe won't rise a lot, and the oven needs to be around 375, 400. And because of those ground seeds, they're going to brown quickly, so you want to keep an eye on them and give them about 25 to 30 minutes. Now, this recipe will be available on our website at eatingwitherlene.com. So if you forget any of the amounts or any of the procedures, just go online and check the recipe out. Now, I like to fill these up to the very top because, like I mentioned, they're not going to raise a whole lot. They're going to be a nice, very dense muffin. And this recipe makes, about a dozen. All right, we have a dozen muffins from that recipe, and I'm going to bake them at about 400, 375, 400, depending on how hot your oven is, for between 25 and 30 minutes. Okay, the muffins are ready to come out. They've been baking for 30 minutes, and you can see they did not raise, and they have a nice golden brown crust. There you have it, 5 simple recipes. Our oat bran muffins filled with oranges and whole grains and seeds. We have a wonderful stuffed portobello mushroom made with oat groats and buckwheat. Very simple, either as a main dish or an appetizer. Using the brown rice, we made a wonderful Asian salad. Here again, if you wanted, you could use your own bottle dressing, any vegetables that are nice and crispy for your Asian salad. The Mediterranean salad, a quick, easy pesto, some sun-kissed tomatoes, and a nice cream cheese. And then one of my favorite, the quinoa salad, with just some vegetables and some fruits. Thank you for joining us during this episode of Eating with Erlene's. I'm hoping that I've convinced you just how versatile whole grains are, and that you'll run to the store, pick up a bunch, and start playing. And hopefully you too will start eating whole grains 3 times a day.